In this video I will show you how to create this ESP32 board. So you can use it in some projects like this. This is my brushless DC motor control project. So this ESP32, so it's from this. There is not all details, but these dimensions are correct, so it can be used in project. So first we will create this symbol which can be used in schematic, and after that we can create this layout, footprint for this component, and last we will create this 3D model. So I will start by using this library I have created, and I will create new component. I will name this like this because I already have this component here. And after this we can create this symbol. I'm gonna use this same name. And from here we can select this pin array, and this ESP32, it has 38 pins, so it has chosen from there, and we can place it here. Now we have to make this a little bit bigger, and we can move all these pins here. This will take some time, and I will pause video now. So now I have placed all these pins here. Usually I do it like this, that all these have this 1 millimeter and then 2 millimeters on top and bottom. But you can change something else if you want. Now we can rename all these pins. So I have here these pins, which is from this datasheet of this component. So I will use all these same names here. So we can click here, and then this first one was this 3 volt, and then there was this enable pin. And I will again pause this video because this will take some time. And here we can see we already have this ground, and in Fusion we can duplicate this same ground, so we have to rename it like this ground 2. So now we have renamed all these pins, and we can check that they are all correct. Then we can add this name for this component. And now we can save this, and then we can start creating this footprint for this. So from here we can select this footprint, and from here we can select this one, that array, and again we have this 38 here, and then we can, so this patch spacing is this 25.4, and this is 2.54. This is from datasheet, so we can place it here like that. And we can change this because this is the first pin here, so we can change this square so it's easier to see. And then usually I always also change this drill size a little bit bigger, so there is some tolerance. So we can select them all, and this from here, pressing shift, we can select multiply here, and I'm gonna change this 0.7, and now we can say all these holes are a little bit bigger. Then we can change this also, so it was something like that. And we can save this. Not yet. We should rename all these paths first. So we can, and we should use the same names here. And again, we can start from here. So we just type here this, and then this next one, enable pin. And I will pause video now. So at this point, it is good idea to double check all these pins match and they are named correctly. I have ESP32, so I can check from that all these pins are correct. And now we can save this footprint. And then we can go to this content manager. So here we have this footprint from this menu. And from here we can click this and now we can create this 3D model for this. And when we create 3D model from this way, it's easier because we have this footprint here, so it's much easier to create 3D model, so it matches this footprint. So this line here, this is the like where the PCB is. So if we draw something here, it will be top of that PCB. So we can start from, okay, so now it's correct. So this front should be, so it's upwards. And now we can click from here. So the way I have created this, I first draw this one rectangle here, and it is something like 0.5, and then we can extrude this. We can change these values later. I'm just now gonna use some values here. So something like this 3 and 6 millimeters. And now we can change this color for this. I'm gonna use this copper. And then we can use this offset plane and we can click from here. So now I start drawing the PCB. So the PCB is something like 1.6, and then after that there is a little bit this copper, so we can start it something from, let's say from this 2.6. So from here we can click that construct plane, and now we can press P so we can project all these lines from this footprint, and with E we can extrude. So I'm gonna use this 1.6, and from this operation we can use this new body and click OK. And now we can see that maybe this would be a little bit longer, so we can edit from here and we can just maybe edit this better. So that might be better for now. And then we can create this. We have these plastic things here, so we can create them next. So we can click, we can turn off this sketch first. And we can click here. And then the plastic is something like 1.5 and we can make new body and maybe it's 1.5 also, and then we can add color for that. So I'm using this, and for this color I'm always pressing Ctrl A. So I'm using this one. So now we have that. And after this we can already make pattern of this if we want. If we want to be more precise, we can also add this shoulder there, but usually it doesn't look very good, but we can try. So I'm gonna project that and then create this circle. By pressing C we can create circle faster. So let's say this shoulder is something like 1.25. Then we can extrude that. I'm gonna use this new body again. So let's extrude it there. And with this chamfer we can make look more like shoulder based. Yeah, maybe something like that. And now we can add, here should be this lead. So we can place that there. And we can also change the color of this board so it looks a little bit better. We can edit this FR value. ESP32 is something maybe like this. And now we can close this. And we can, from here we can create this pattern. And all this is bodies, so we can just click here and this one and that. So we have total these 3 bodies here. Then we can select axis. So we can click from there and there. And I'm gonna use this distribution spacing. So so there was 2 and this was 25.4, so it goes there, and then this was 2.54 and there is total 38, and so it's 19 one side like that. And now we have all these pins here. So it already looks pretty good. Now we can create some USB ports here. So I'm gonna click this. And I don't know real dimensions for this USB port, but I'm just gonna make some placeholder here. So I think it's something like 7 and 7. And this would be like 2.5. And now we can extrude this. It's 2 and new body again. And then we can, for this we can change this equal and it's something like 1 millimeter. So these dimensions doesn't really matter because this is just placeholder component. And then this is okay. Now we can click this and we can project this and we can create offset by pressing O. And let's say this is something like 0.2. And now we can extrude this and we have this like there. So now it's looking a little bit USB port. And then we can create here this where the chip is. I have to pause video now because I will check the dimensions. So I will use these dimensions for the chip. So we can start from here. And we can project this line. And there it was 5. And then it was this. It was 17.5. And this was 22.5. Pressing X, we can change this construction line type. And then we can make this horizontal. And now that should be okay. And we can extrude this. This is something like 1 millimeter. And we can click here. And I'm gonna project this. And then I'm gonna project also this one. And then I'm gonna use offset. This offset tool, and this is like minus 0.2. And I have the drum line here. And I'm gonna press this D hotkey so I can make their dimension. So that's 0.22. And now we can extrude this. So this is something like 2, and I'm gonna use this new body for that. And this is, I think it's the same color as that one, was it? Maybe we could import aluminum. So I'm gonna change that aluminum and this one. And also this. So now we have pretty much all that there, and now we can save this first. And then we can click this finish. And we can save all these if there is something like that. And then we can go this from here, this component. So there is this ESP32 copy we created. So now we have all these footprint symbols and 3D model. So we can go here. And then from here we can click this add device. And here we have this copy. This is my original ESP32 and this is the copy. So I'm gonna use this copy now. And then I can place it here. And then from this menu, we can use this add local package. And then we have this copy here. And this one is the original and this is the copy. And we can see there is this some sketch. We can turn off that so it doesn't show there. So we can press OK now. And then we can from here disconnect. And now we have to connect all these footprint and this pad pins. I mean this symbol and pad pins. And they all should be correct, but you should double check they all match. So we can start from here. And it is important to double check all these are correct. So they match. Sometimes they could be in wrong order. So now we have all that, and then we can save this. And I'm gonna go to this schematic so we can try how that works. So from here we have this place components, and then this is the copy we just created. So we can like double click that and we can place it here. And we can already see like this is a little bit odd that is there, so we can edit that. And I'm gonna just save now. We have to always save this, so it will update this schematic here, all these things, loading things. And now we can open this schematic. I will move all this little bit here so there's some space for this new component. So maybe we can, maybe there is enough space. So we can place it there now so we can see how it looks. So this footprint looks fine. And now we can save this. And then we can click this push to 3D PCB. Now we can click that. So here is the new ESP we just created. So it looks okay to me. Here is the original one and this is the new one. And we can see in this original I have used longer pins here, and this one has a little bit shorter. I will close this now, I don't save this version. We can go to this library back and we can change this one here. It's a little bit odd that it there. So it was this one. So we have to go from this symbol and we have to double click this. Now we can edit this one and we can move it here. And we don't really even need this value there, but I'm just gonna leave it there. And now we can save this. We could also just delete this if we want. And now when we go back to this schematic, so here we can see it has this older model, but if we go here and then we have to double click this, so it will update this new model here. So now it will say that there has been changes and yes, we want to update. So now it changed and that's there. Yeah, and that's it. I'm gonna delete this from this schematic now because that was just for this tutorial. And now if I save this, it will update this PCB here. And once we go here, so we go here now, that ESP copy has disappeared.